Gonna be honest, I wasn't gonna do a Witchy Wednesday video today because I feel surrounded in negativity. Some generated from myself, some generated from outside sources. I'm not what I would consider an empath by any means. I don't know. I really wouldn't be able to tell you, what an empath is, but so I don't think it's a result of being an empath. I think that after the whole we don't support your page because you support the military thing yesterday, I kind of just went to this place where I was just disgusted with a percentage of humanity that thinks that way. Unless your country's militia is so completely and obviously wrong, which I'm not really too sure how you can differentiate between a right or wrong militia, but I do know that in the US, and then more than likely in the UK, the soldiers are there to keep the peace, and they may do so by force, but my personal philosophy, do no harm and take no shit. Yeah, I'm in that mood today, and I've got sunburn. I'm just baffled, especially after the murder of the British soldier by Islam fundamentalists, that I ran into a UK pagan page that tells me the day after the American Memorial Day that they don't support military. And I know that they weren't banking on the fact that I would be an army wife, but I am. And they definitely know it now. And, as calm as I absolutely possibly could in my reply, I explained that I thought they were complete psychos. We have people that are against the military in the United States, and I do think they are idiots. You're going to find, I'm just going to let out all the passion today. I've been accused of being too nice on my page. I've been accused of not posting pagan topics on my page. Yeah, Sunday, Monster High. So apparently I'm not mean enough, and I can tell you I am. I just didn't know very many people. I mean, well, I don't know anybody from Facebook. You like my page, you listen to me, you read the things that I post, inspirational things, but I definitely wasn't expecting this kind of treatment. And I don't think it's not really affecting me that badly. There's definitely a lot of outside things separate from the page that is affecting me. But in the area where I live, military pagans there's, Fort Bragg has an open circle. I've met personally a couple of Fort Bragg pagans. I think my husband has talked to one that is part of the Bragg open circle. I don't know any of the Bragg open circle because I have not been there because I'm afraid of having a bad experience with another group. But the point I'm trying to make is that every group has had to fight. Back in the old days, and I don't know any better way to describe it other than that. Before Christianity, they defended themselves. They needed defense. It wasn't kumbaya, let's hold hands, everything is peaceful. That is not how the world was, it's not how it is, and it's not how it's going to be. We want it to be that way. It sounds great. I want it to be that way, but it's not how it is. Paganism does not have, it's about peace, but you definitely cannot say that pagans don't fight, or pagans aren't going to fight for what they know is right, and you can't say that they're not going to fight for their right for religious freedom or any other freedom. That's crazy. If I wanted to turn the other cheek, I would be a Christian, because that's what you're told. And you can't tell me that when one tribe wanted to take over this other tribe, that this other tribe just peacefully let them do it. No. It was not fluffy bunnies and butterflies in ancient history. It never was. Someone has always been fighting over, I'm sorry, my sage, I'm burning sage because I'm feeling negative and it's, anyhow, you can't tell me beyond, that pagans have always been inherently peaceful. Vikings are notorious pagans, marauding, etc. And I'll just come out and tell you, the post that I put on the wall today about the tangent about British Traditional Wicca, that's my original thought. I said that in a religious group. And it's not that I don't accept British Traditional Wiccans, it's that I have had several experiences with British Traditional Wiccans where they just have to beat into me the fact that I am not a Wiccan in their eyes. They have to make it a point. And it's about as bad as being told that I'm going to burn in hell. Honestly. Wicca is the first word that most newbies to the craft learn. They usually come to the craft expecting to be a Wiccan. They buy all these Wicca books, and there's nothing, especially eclectic Wiccans. When I say Wiccan, I'm referring to British Traditional Wiccans, so don't misunderstand. If you call yourself a Wiccan and you're not a British Traditional Wiccan, I am not referring to you, okay? I'm not trying to offend you. I have had bad personal experiences with British Traditional Wiccans, and I have completely dissociated myself from the term Wiccan. I will post it on my page because I know how mainstream it's gotten. It's easily identifiable, and it's just that it is what it is. But when I think of Wiccans, I think of British Traditional Wiccans in the sense that Alexander Sanders and Gerald Gardner, and I don't like them. Am I going to argue with you because you're a British Traditional Wiccan? No. This is strictly my personal opinion. And I've experienced a handful of British Traditional Wiccans to be able to tell you, that's just not for me. and I choose not to. I don't know. I just can't. The Carillions and the British Traditional Wiccans have feuded for years and over who was the truer Wiccan, and it was all ridiculousness. And I really think that the Carillions need to just stop arguing with the British Traditional Wiccans, and I think the British Traditional Wiccans need to accept that there are other people that call themselves Wiccans that would rather not be associated with Alexander's, Gerald Gardner, Aleister Crowley, H.P. Lovecraft, the Necronomicon. There are Wiccans that are not associated with that. It's been a long enough time that Wicca has had a chance to evolve to not be that. And because the Carillions definitely are a group that I absolutely love. There are the group that call themselves Wiccans that are not British Traditional Wiccans. Don't buy into what Gardner says, and I don't either, because I think the man was nuts, and I think that Alexander's was nuts, and I think that Aleister Crowley was even more nuts than both of them combined. That's my personal opinion. That's my page. Hi. Sweetheart, I'm doing a video. Go. Mwah. I'll be there in a minute. Anyhow, I'm just sort of venting out this frustration. I've got to get it out of my system. I don't really know if it's ever going to completely leave my system, but because I'm probably always going to have something to say when it comes to British Traditional Wiccans, because I feel like I have suffered at the end of their judgment. I feel like they are intolerant of what everyone considers Wiccan, and they've made it some sort of secret club that you can't get into unless you've been initiated by someone in the lineage of Alexander Sanders or Gerald Gardner. The whole thing is ridiculous to me, and I just want to, I just want to get it out there because I don't want anybody to be taken for a fool. If you don't believe me, please feel free to not take what I say as word, because trust me, that's how these people following Gardner and Alexander's got into trouble, by taking what they said as law. I'm just merely trying to give you a heads up of what you could fall into. So, with that being said, I'm sorry about my bad mood. I meant to give you a much more upbeat and informational video this week, but it does not look like that's going to happen. I am really just trying to get over this yuck feeling. So, brightest blessings, and I hope I have something better for you next week.